こんにちは。よし、やっていきますか。今日結構元気だぞ。ワンチャン朝までやるかもしれません。てか、もし朝までやったら今日で終わるんじゃねえかな。終わるかな。沼らなければいける気がします。よろしくお願いします。前回は4章かな。4章でまたなんか絵描きから招待状が届き、でパーティー会場に行って鍵をもらったら、死体がありましたというところですね。なんで今日はこの辺りを調べていくというところですが、ここはどこ？ここはどこ？ここはどこ？レガシー劇場。レガシー劇場？レガシー劇場行くんだっけ？違くない？これか。はい。ここね。はい。これです。行きましょう。はい。道合ってるかな。あら、違う。じゃあこっちか。これだ。これでした。
Welcome, sir.
よし。で、一番奥かな。探索していきましょう。よし。ピンと。さあ、いろいろありますね。一個ずつ調べていきましょう。
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony. This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger.
だが、なんかナイフ使うんだ。
This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like.
美薬。
I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
These crime scenes always outdo my
なん
imagination.
か書いてある。
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus
なんかの
drawn
暗
in a
号かなん
hurry.
かかな。裏にも何かトリックがあるのでは。特になさそう。ほう？ここはここで何かがありそう。まずはでもこの部屋から。ここもあるね。
The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
さあ、まずは下読みましょう。目が死後。
A blunt force trauma may have suffered an
鈍
internal
的外
hemorrhage.
傷。なんか殴られたってことか。これが
This golden handle has a blood stain
血
on it.
で汚れている。
The dagger is heavy and sharp but lacks
バラン
balance.
スの悪いだが抜いていいんか。
The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the
心臓
heart.
を正確に貫いている。これはなんだ。
This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
被害者の血。足は特にないんで、じゃあ入れ墨かな。
This crude tattoo partially covers a slave
入
branding.
れ墨、奴隷の部分を隠している。 あれ、足の方がないな。どこだ。もう一個。あ、何かも
The
握っ
victim
て
has
る
clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it. He died right here.
ここで死んだ。まあ、移動したとかじゃないってことだよね。おう、ボギル。
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend.
本当だよ。
Why did you not tell me
分かってたんだろ、
immediately?
これ。
We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts.
そういう問
But
題
I'm
なの
glad
か。
I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner.
カート氏、そう、誰だよ、カート氏。今日のような夜って
What
何？
is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their
何でも許
boundaries
され
in
る
a
雰囲
safe and
気。
consensual
自らの限
atmosphere.
界に挑戦。
Often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
何
I
でもあり。
suppose that's fair.
変わったこ
What about
と
today?
変わったことしかないだろ、何でもありだったら。
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death.
カート氏って誰ですか？
Mr. Manchios is the
あ
owner
あ
of the manor, yes?
主か。
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
警察は？
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal
ああ、
many
なるほど。
things.
警官自体
But we didn't
も
want the
なるほどね
authorities to。
まあ、
create
バレた
more
くないからね。
problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good
なんて
mystery.
いう言い方だ。
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite
儀
with
式の
Fabio
準備。
and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
生命の
And the
説
rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh, who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door.
知らないふりをしたの。
We were
Filling time?
waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple
そ
comforts.
んなことあんのかよ。
Overindulged, perhaps.
被害者、ああ、そうだね。知ってる。
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew
みんな知って
Fabio,
る。
or wanted to. His
少年だっ
beauty was the
た。
talk of the island.
じゃあ有名人なん
Too
だ。
handsome to go
島の
unnoticed.
中で。
He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance and
モテ
more.
モテなんだ。めっちゃあるじゃん。儀式は
What about
何
the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil. Not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the
ガ
earth.
イア。
As I cover her in oils, we
体に
chant
油を
for
塗
the
って。
principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and
なん
copulates
ちゅう
with
儀
her.
式だよ。
After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not.
普通にセ
I
ック
did
スしと
not
るやん。
expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is
童
not
貞
something
扱
to
い
be
されて
ashamed
る。
of, but it
お
would
シ
explain
ャーロ
the
ック童
color
貞
of your
扱い。
cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It
まあ
must not be
生命の
stopped.
起源でもそうか。
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of
Matista.
Fabio's
演
compatriots
者
and a
の一人
performer。too.
どっか行った逃げたんか。だからそいつが刺した可能性があるのかな。
When you discovered the body,
っ
was
て
the
いう
door
まあ
open?
ミスリードっ
No,
ぽい
it
気が
was
するけど。
locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first
容
time I
疑者
came
の
to
一人だ
speak
よ
to
ね、多分
Fabio,
ね。
I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key.
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later only to
内
find the
側と
lock
外
was
側で
not
鍵を
locked.
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
なるほど。いろいろ探索のしがいがありそうですね。
What about a quick pillow fight?
しません。お、いっぱいつながってる。よいしょ。この部屋は調べるところがあんまないか。まあちょっとある。9もある。はい。集中。あ、血が。
An open wound spoiled the carpet.
ほう。タバコついてるよ。
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
葉巻で焼き払えるか。これ何？
Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
これ何？あれ？お、血がついてる。
A sturdy bottle met a not so sturdy human. It didn't break
瓶
only
が
because
割
it
れ
was
てな
unopened.
いのは中身。へえ。ここ喫煙所なんだ。はいはいはい。食べ物も何かを固定しなさいと。めちゃめちゃいっぱいあるな。で、9。あ、違う。ここにも。
The wounded person was here for some
怪我を
time.
した人物。女かな血で。
A bloody handprint on an armchair.
その後はあ、ここにも。
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
ということは生贄。今やれることは大体やったってことか。あ、違うな。これは終わりだ。ではよくて。もうちょいじゃあ別の部屋も探索しますか。ここは衣装部屋というかなんというか。手紙。カート。主人か。マティスタ、お客様を無視するな。そして彼らを退屈させないように。彼らが興味があるのはお前のざれ言ではなく、美しいお前が彼らにどれだけ奉仕できるかということだ。お前がここにいるのは命を賛美するためだ。忘れるのは、お客様はお前と時間を過ごすために大金を払うのだ。まあまあまあ、商品というか売り物というかっていう感じだよね。
How can anyone accept such behaviour?
自殺の線もあるんじゃないでしょうか。こんな生
A
活も
useful
嫌だ。
tool for a disguise arsenal.
まあね、その、
This is a different ritual.
儀式の筋書き。発見した何らかの儀式の筋書きのボードに文言が書かれていた。文言の内容をつけて、この儀式を読んで練習しろ。母なるガイアの象徴である裸の女性が祭壇に敷かれた花の上に横たわる。儀式の信仰者は儀式の油で女性を塗り、女性の内なる宝珠を目覚めさせる。参加者はこの瞬間に昇進母なるガイアを喜ばせる男を呼び出さなければならない。そして生命の節約が具現化した存在である男は女性と知り入りを交わすのである。違う儀式って言った？
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos.
カフスボタン。仮面。
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
鍵。あ、これは
The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio. The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me.
ああ、これじゃあ内鍵かな、じゃあ。準備作り。はい。
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set.
お水。
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it.
周りに水。ほう。あ、
Blood
違
clots are
う。
adhered to the sides of the drain.
なんでしょう。血が溜まっていると。はい。この服は手形。
Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
中身はあ、
Similar to the
お着
guests'
替え
robes,
してますね。
apart from the bloodstains.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps, perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
ここで再現入りますと。再現パートですね。こっち側にも部屋あったよな。こっちはいいのかな。あ、一緒だ。あ、こう繋がってるだけか。OK、じゃあ考えをまとめつつ、てかまあちょっとずつやっていきましょうか。こうね、整理しながら。合ってないと。OK、整理していきましょう。何個あるかな。さあ、スタートはどこからでしょうか。これは鍵をかけている。違うね。鍵を多分内側からかけているんだよね、これはね。で、閉めといて、外から開けられないようにしているというところ。ここに関しては、瓶で殴る。いや、違います。何してる？首を絞めている。首を絞めるよりは刺してるよね。刺してるはず。致命傷は普通に多分絵には血が付着しているっていうことは、こいつ自身も刺したやつ自身もなんか怪我を負ってるってことだよね。 とどういう状態だろうな。ちょっとまだわからないですね。この辺むずそうなんだよな。こっちとかもあるから。ここはまあまあまあ捨てるよね。こっち違いがわかんねえ。これ捨てる方だと思うよ。捨ててるよねこれね。さすがに。これ何してる？洗ってる？いや、わかんねえわかんねえ。違いがわかんねえよこれ。同じこれ。待って。違う？何が違う？なんかパーにしてるかグーにしてるか何が違うんだよこれ。謎すぎる。このどっちでもいいだろこれ。何を意味しているかさっぱりわからない。ここでは水瓶を使って、血を洗った跡がある。ちょっとわかんねえな。血が落ちてできた跡がある。血の跡と手形。だから殴られます。殴られたの誰だ？ナイフでは刺してないです。ここは殴った場所だから、これ2択？ 2 択だね。ここは瓶で殴ってるはず。ここ這いずり回りながら、いや引きずってはないと思う。ここなんだ血を洗った。はいはいはいはいはいはいはいはいはい。それでか。はいはい。これで殴って殴って殴ってどうした？刺してるよね。刺してファビオを刺してるのか。ファビオを刺してファビオが引きずられたって考えられる？ワインの瓶はいつでも手形。でもこれ書いてたりするけどな。ファビオが自力で行く意味がないな。ここで殺されてるから、あそこは致命傷じゃない。なんだろうな。ここ引きずってはないよな。 あ、違う。あとでもこれさ、証拠的にはどっちだっけ？左手？手の型が違うな。右手じゃないわ。左手だ。
You're not even
Ah,
trying,
違う。
Sherry. Concentrate.
どこが違う？合ってる。ここがね、いまいちなんですよ。刺してない。ここに痛く。こんなんでさ、
You're not
違うっ
even
て言われたら嫌なん
trying,
だよ。
Sherry. Concentrate.
これとかね。これとか意味わかんねえからさ。ちょっと待って。あ、これ絶対違うわ。俺こうだわ。人が違うわ。はいはい。あ、これも人が違うじゃねえか。グーパーだけじゃないわ。これ犯人の方だな。こうですよ。犯人がこうですね。
You're not even trying,
あ
Sherry.
れ違う。
Concentrate.
殴る殴る。刺す。これ誰？あれ？こっちよね。そうだよね。これも2人いたんか。はい、これもこうかな、じゃあ。はい、できま
The
し
bottle
た。
was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge.
殴る。
Then, to ensure no one would
鍵を閉め
interrupt, the
る。
murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room.
祭壇上に上げ
Once the body
て、
was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes.
隠して
The killer washed
洗い
himself
ま
and
す
took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you alright? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
よいしょ。まあまあまあ。お？儀式は本当の目的を隠すため。まあそっちでしょうね。鍵を所有していて扉を閉めるのに利用した。よいしょ。これも話を聞く。はい。
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
どうでしょうか。
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was
隣の部屋
stabbed,
で切り
but
刺
only
され
after
た。
being
そうで
knocked
すね。
out in the next room
そう、
and
理由も
placed
まだわかんない
here.
ね。
Do not
確かに。
yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
そんな
Well,
急には
it
わかん
was
ないよ。
one
単
person
独なん
working
だ。
alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she
う
could be
ん、どっ
hiding
か
in
に
plain
証拠っ
sight.
ぽいもの
We
があ
have
るか
lost
どう
time,
か。
Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all.
証拠の提示。
The murderer had to have
鍵を持っ
access
てい
to
る。
this room. After the
うん、
crime,
み
he
んな持
used
ってる
his
って言わ
own
れたら
key
嫌だ
to
な。
lock the door.
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his
黄金の星の
guests.
仮面。
He has a mask with
Hi.
golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry. I know you can untangle this mess. I know you can untangle this
教え
mess.
てくんないのね。見た目。これ固定というか、9か。黄金の目。
Sherlock, don't forget to find the information I need before the
あっ
guests
たよ
leave.。
集中すればわかんない。こいつじゃね？
I need a rest from my insatiable wife.
違うわ。黄色の星の仮面。見えねえんだよ。見えねえんだよ。黄色の星ってなんだ？黄色の星。黄色。金ってなんだ？昼間にいるはず。は？
Kurt Manchos, I
Oh.
presume. I'm Sherlock
色マ
Holmes.
ジでわからん。
Oh,
星
you
って
must
な
be
んだ
the
よ。
one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchos. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What?
な
Lower
る
your
ほどね。
voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
ファビオについ
Did
て。
you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change
いや
the
場所変えろよ、
subject.
そもそも。
I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
最大室に鍵持ってる人は誰
I
で
need
す
to
か？
find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is
他に
that
もいる
correct?
でしょう。
That is correct, yes.
マティスタ
Also,
とサント
Matista
ス。
and Santos.
マティスタは
Who is that?
演者の一人か。
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo.
執事長。
In his opinion, at least.
どこにいますか？
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes.
料
He
理
will be
人
busy
と
with the
仕事をし
servants.
ている。
Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on?
何？急にどうした？
Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
逮捕？撃たれた？あ、警官出てきちゃった。あ、めっちゃ邪魔されてんじゃないこれ。やば。散弾銃飛んでるけど。あ、めっちゃ殴られ。ああ。ああ。ああ。え？何これ？いやいやいや、これ BGM おかしいやろ。BGM おかしいって。そういう場面か。めっちゃ捕まってるじゃん。どうすんのこれ。何これ、ゲームオーバー。いやいやいや。シャーロックも捕まえちょぼんってして。はあ
Committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. Your Grace.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in this letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Ah, my wretched brother Mycroft. and his long
Mycroftと
nose.
か。
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You knew my
知ってる
Not personally, no.
てか、マイクロフトマジで本当権
I
力
was
者なん
working
だ
on
ね。
the paperwork for that
事務
case.
処理担
Would you
当。
happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I
メモが
remember
残ってい
seeing
る。
some notes. Why?
交渉しよう。
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight.
なんでしょうか
Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something
尋問で
substantial.
すか
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you
What?
from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then. Partner.
警官になりすますん
We
です
should have
ね。
listened to the guests there. Now I have nothing to write about.
あ、そっか、失敗してた。あ、着替えれない。ああ、失敗しちゃったね。ああ、そっか。もっと調べなきゃいけなかった。あ、そっか、今もうできないのか。あのタイミングでしかそっか調べられないからか。残念ですね。資料。この辺ね。はい。OK です。調べていきましょう。事件記録62の60番。悪魔儀式の目撃者による遺体発見の通報を受け、マンチョス邸の強制捜査の許可が下った。これにより多数の容疑者を逮捕し、仮面とローブを身につけ、わいせつ行為や異常な行動をとっている集団を、離散させることに成功した。祭壇の上で発見された遺体の胸にはナイフによる傷が確認。警察官は、被害者が20歳の地元の演者で芸術家であるファビオであると断定。逮捕された容疑者は連れており、ボイレルね。被害者によって書かれた中傷の手紙を所持、遺体を発見したのは自分だと主張している。容疑者はその不具合な性格で悪名高い人物。シャーロック・ホームズ、被害者の血が付着した凶器のダガーの方が複数の証拠を消えた。これはね、捜査の一環というか、ホームズが容疑者であるボイレルに招待されたのは警察の捜査を妨害するためであると思われる。カート・マンチョス。マンチョスは、邸宅の主人、悪魔的なパーティーの主催者。被害者に報酬を支払い、儀式に参加させた事件現場に入ることができましたと。マティスタ、この女が、ファビオの相棒として儀式に参加していた逃走試み逮捕に抵抗。最大数との中で儀式が記された本を所持。その他の着火さんの少々一時に交流中。あれ、まだ執事長が書いてないですね。はい。出た。サントス。はい、これですね。サントス・ピンチェッティはグランドサライ地区のマンチョスで発生したと思われ殺人事件を通報した目撃者である。社交界の準備中、私は閉ざされた最短室から大きな物音を聞いた。カート・マンチョスが話していた生物を生贄にさせる行為を即座に思い出した。壁には血で奇妙な印が書かれ、ダガーが心臓に刺さっていた。私は気を取り出し、すぐ警察署に殺人事件を報告。この気をついてない人は警察官が発見し、その間に目撃者は帰宅した。サントスがじゃあ通報したんだ、警察に。主人の許可も取らずに。なんか怪しいですけどね。気になりますね。証拠チケット。はいはい。 鍵な。オーバー。
Back on track to solve the case.
事件を解決しよう。早くね。
I can't go back to prison.
外に出たりするのかい。
Look, I found Werner.
めっちゃある。これ結構長そうだよ。うん。これまだだね。まだいろいろありますね。調べるところは特になし。ボーゲルとかもどっかにいるよね。あれ
This area is
立ち入
restricted.
り禁止。おう、お前ら。めっ
Don't look at them. They'll serve us if necessary.
ちゃ酒飲んでる。何してんの何してんの君たち。君たち何してんの。サントスの調査やら何やら。めっちゃいっぱいある聞くやつが。固定しとこう。
May I ask you something?
Excuse me? What?
ああ、
I'm not sure I know.
違うな。いろいろ調べないといけないんだが、微妙に。
Is this familiar to you?
A solid question, sir, but
いや、
I
で
don't
も
have
違
the
うわ。
answer.
誰に何を聞く。記録保管庫にいる。ああ、これは別にいいのか。サントスの聴取。ああ、いや、記録保管庫に行かないといけないのね。ボーゲルのところにも行かないといけない。
I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
ボーゲルどこに。こいつ誰。お前誰。アーカイブ。あ、これ記録保管庫。はい。そうです。
Have you considered Mr. Santos
聴取をしたい
Pinchetti
で
as a
す。
suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here.
お、サ
They
ント
brought
ス。
him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to
7番取り調べ室。
interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist,
成
our
功は
men
しない
said.。
Thank you.
うん。
You can question Mr. Pinchetti in the interrogation room.
了解です。調べられる。別に今調べることないからな。本はなくて、サントス調べましょうか。あとは、こいつら。
Did you hear Basilio Coppello is in jail? A dead body was found in his showroom.
ちょ。聞き耳。
Did you hear Basilio Coppello?
コペロ設備って何？何の話？これ何？有名な防犯用品会社コペロ設備の経営者バジロ・コペロが逮捕されたという話に興味惹かれた。彼の置かれた状況は非常に奇妙で、バジロ氏は店の金庫の中でニコロ・デッティで男性の遺体が発見されたというものだ。バジロ氏は無罪を主張しているが、証拠は彼にとって不利だ。
In the police. Let's pretend to be
Ah,
cops, eh? We
sabi ko
can
ikaw.
just stand around and look confused.
お前ら。
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
おう。チケットね。チケットあるよ。はい。
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of
全部見せてくれる
degenerates.
んでしょ
Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
はい。鍵。9個もある。
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring.
これカフズボタン
It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted
ル
anyone.
ビーですか。これが
A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner.
ああ、マンチョス、あれ主人ですね。
An emergency kit for boredom.
完全な薬ですね。ファビオからの手紙。ボーリェルの証拠の箱気は確かなのかな。あなたは自分の憎しみを背にできているのは少なくとも僕の周りではね。僕には見通しさ。僕は僕が決めた人と一緒に過ごし、会話をし遊ぶので、僕はマティスタじゃない。金をもらってはいるが、あなたは僕の飼い主じゃない。もちろんあなたからの寛大な援助は返さないよ。いくら受け取ってもあなたの感じるマガジンにさらされる足しにはならないけどね。僕とあなたの関係はもう俺で、マティスタはまだいるだろうけどね。ファビオと、これはファビオと誰だろうね。誰宛てまあ多分マンチョスじゃ
Not
ね
the
え
time
か
for
な。
privacy. Werner's personal sketchbook.
バーナー宛てなのか違うと思うけど。The Power of Love, Blood and Mandrake.
That's not for bedtime reading.
背拍
This
子。
ex libris belongs to Manchios Library.
カーテシの書斎のもの。愛の力値とマンドレイク。警察による逮捕の最中、マティスタのカバンからオカルト本が発見された。蔵書表によれば、この本はカート氏が所有する蔵書の一冊。本には事件現場に似た儀式の絵と文章による解説が記されている。近日中に他界した大切な人間を裸体にせよ。火星と均一な紋章を描くことで、男児の力を増幅させ、男そして女の本質の力を使え。男の心臓を金色のだがれ貫き、男児を愛さない血を取り除け。男児の愛を示す紋章を描き、蘇生を待つ間、都の呪文を暗唱せよ。遺体の、殺人現場のところは、殺人現場の儀式だね。殺した後に、裸だったっけ忘れたけど。完成と金星の紋章を書いてました。ダガーでぶっ刺してました。呪文の暗唱。
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the
それは
altar.
わからんな。
A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings.
守り。これが
Her key to the altar room. Thank you, officer.
これで証拠全部かな。めちゃめちゃいっぱいあるなおい。これ長いぞ。よいしょ。
This area is restricted.
なんだっけ ?7 番だっけボーリェルどこ行ってんのボーリェルどこよボーリェルどこ誰あんた
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable
ああ、マティ
Oswald.
スタね。はいはい、はい。
You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday,
体はマティスタどういう意味
like Fabio.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
観察する。どこ？さっきあったよな。口。血が溜まった傷。どこ？首？最近つけられた。首？内出血じゃない。ただのキスマークじゃねえのこれ。おい。おい。ネズミ？ネズミ。指は爪を噛んで、ああ、深爪してんだ。手首は古い切り傷。リストカットかなんかかな。肩は、あ、これなんかファビオと同じ焼き跡っぽいな。あとは、あとどこ？足。これもなんか、傷、足かせ。辛い人生。奴隷として働いていた。同じ奴隷であるファビオと出会ったが、2人が似た人のそのためです。神秘主義に傾倒している彼女はオカルトの印の家島氏マティスタは過去の出来事を忘れようとしており、演者としての生活へ金を残す。うん、この辺どっちなんかそんなわかんねえな、それは。Hey.
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
奴隷だったんですかって聞くのかよ。
It was
デリカシーなさすぎ
a
だろ。
long time ago.
Couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to forget my past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died.
殺
We
した
ran
んだ。
away that day. We managed to get on a ship and
はい
traveled
うまい
here.
ことやって逃げてしましたと。
Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
どこで怪我したの？
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
あ、最近の傷だよね、これ
Guests
確か。
can't contain themselves. They even bite.
噛みついてくる人もいる。なかなかのプレイですね。はい。
I've nothing to add. I've nothing to say.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
この本
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern
あ、オ
us.
カルト好きか。はいはい。
Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped. I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
うん。
This is the letter the police found in Mr.
あ
Vogel's
あ、
pocket.
手紙ね。はい。
Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it
手
refuses
紙
to
から
let
ファ
me
ビオの
analyze
力を
it.
感じる。オカルト進行してます
Do you
ね。
practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought. I know I can handle the
う
news.
ん。あ、めっちゃある。めっちゃある、めっちゃある。めっちゃ調べることあるじゃん。あー、めっちゃある。違う。 パーティーの最中に、はい。ファビオ。マティスタはファビオに儀式を施したかもしれない。ファビオ、それかあり得るね。こういうね、ところ。全部組み合わせやったかな。まだまだ証拠が取れませんね。
I know I can handle the news.
ボーゲルじゃない。こいつが5番誰マンチョスか
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting
そっ
young
か、顔見せてねえから
the new blood.
わかんねえのか。
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the Boers again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the
あ、
police.
声でやっぱバレたじゃん。
What a disappointment.
さっき話した
Only
か
an
らな。
undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
観察しましょう。さあ、どんな人物？化粧をしている。何のためにこのジジイが。おっしん。髪染めてんの？お手では手を洗った。血を流すためか。靴はまあいいものを履いていると。非常に裕福だが風変わりで分別がない。上流階級の人間たちは何パーティーを主催して、家を持ってますと。時間を共に過ごすのは自分と同じく過剰な特権を持った人間たち。だがそんな交際の仕方をし仕事で彼は自分の健康に気を使うようになった。彼は体を清潔保つに薬といい専門剤を過剰に使いかえって肌を傷つけている。パーティーで自分の本当の年齢を若く見せようとしている。どっちでもいいな。どっちでもいいね。どうでもいい。
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was
なんか
focused
その
on.
言葉はなんか怪しいね。ファビオと揉めてた可能性は全然あるんでね。
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits?
やっぱ
Anything
り
you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of
まあ動機の一個ではあるよね。
What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
パーティーは
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
なぜボーイルを
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either
そう
say.
いう嫌いはあるね。
I
確かに。
suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as
ボ
long
ーイ
as
ル
it
不思議な
enhances
存在だ
my
よ
party.
な。絵描きだけど、
I'd like to know who you usually invite
お
to
母
your
さんのこ
parties.
とも絡
Free
んでたりする
minds
し
who。are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit
黒幕的な
without
感じも
prejudice.
しないで
There
も
is
ないけど
nothing
ね、
that
ボーイ
quite
ルが。
spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true labourers, I see.
これは多分別に関
I've
係
no
ない
idea about that.
関係ない
That's not something I know much about.
関
That's
係
not something
な
I
い
know much about.
マン
Do
ド
you
力は
recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
め
The
っちゃ
things
仲悪いじゃん
described in the book were inspiration for the
あの女のやつ。
rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the
まあそうだ
forbidden
よね。あく
pleasures.
までショーとしてやってるよね。本は全然関係ないよね。
That's not something I know much about.
これはファビオとの喧嘩の証拠じゃないです
I've
か
read。this letter from Fabio. It had no addressee, but it was found in Mr. Vogel's pocket.
Werner? Strange. I didn't think the two of them corresponded.
I'm sure there is some explanation. Would you care to read it?
Call me superstitious, but I don't care to read a letter from a dead man.
知らないふりをするか。
That's not something I know much
関係ない
about.
これも関係
That's
ない。
not something I know much about.
これも関係ないから。これかな
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say
違うんで
you
すよ。
Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk.
それはこれから調べま
I'm
すよ。
quite certain he
も
knows
ちろ
more
ん。
about the murder than he has told the police. You'd
別
better ask
に
someone
関係
else.
関
You'd better ask someone
係
else.
ないボーイル。
That's not something I know much about.
鍵。
I've no idea about that.
ファビ
You'd
オ
better ask someone else.
カフス
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few
ご褒美ですか？
times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
さあこれで、カートマンチュスの取り調べは一通り終わりと。これが一致しないのかな。違うね。これの可能性があると。はいはいはいはいはい。あと誰に話を聞かなきゃいけないですか？
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
yes.
Barnacle.
Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
嘘をつく気はないです。
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me?
罪のない嘘ついたっけ忘れちゃっ
That
た。
is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up
忘れ
hope.
ちゃったよ。はい。はい。
I don't think I can tell you anything about
カ
this.
スボタンも多
I
分
can't
知
follow
ら
you
な
here.
い。これについても知ら
I
ない
can't
よ
follow you
ね。多分。で、これ関係なくて、こ
I
れ
don't
も
think
な
I can
く
tell you
て。
anything about this.
手紙はそう聞きたい
So
ね
the。police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at
誰かが
all.
入れた。なるほ
Perhaps it
ど。
was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were
まあ、ロー
true,
ブの
then
交
how
換
did
と
it
かい
get
く
there?
らでもあるよ
No
ね。
clue. But this night has been rather
ま
eccentric.
あそうね、
Such
薬
a
でやられ
detail
てっ
could
から
have
な、お
easily
前ら。
eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
読んでもいないと。
I can't follow you here.
I have
Well,
learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you.
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
知らないですか。さあ、7番。お前やな。はい。
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
鍵全部持ってますよね、もちろん。遺言状とメモ。カードマンチョスの遺言状？怠け者のサントス。妻が遺言に参加したいと懇願して光言ってやつだ。これが私の新しい遺言だ。今の書かれた遺言のやつの通り。マンチョスの秩序ではサントピンチェットには不思議なワックスの瓶とショーのランプが当たる。雇用主の気遣いを忘れるなかれ。意味がわからない。遺言に参加したい。何それ。どういう意味？この血のついた手錠は何これ。ちょっとよくわかんねえな。Hey.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness. Everything's in my
まあ
report.
でもね、それは何とでも言えるからね。
You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the
ア
crime
リ
was
バイをね、ちょ
intentional.
っとね。
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr.
まあ
Pinchetti.
確かに。
Just
なんな
be
ら
still
今、
for a few
主がいない
seconds.
からね、別にね、どうもしないよね。仕事なんかないだろうっていう感じですけれども。首、襟元。赤く腫れている。これはまだ揉めた後っていう可能性があるんだよね。こういうので随所に散りばめてくからわかんないんだよね。何度も修繕されている。継ぎはぎだらけ。あんまりじゃあ、新しい服とかも買ってないっていう感じか。染色。なるほど。なんか色落ちしては塗って、みたいな感じか。足元。はい、靴は。血が飛び跳ねた後。 執事長という邸宅でも一番高い地位にいるにもかかわらず貧しい暮らしをしている。十分な金を持っているが、それはほとんど使おうとしない。安物の化粧品で体の傷を隠している。おしゃれのために何度かスーツを染色している。金をさらにせずがスーツじゃない。開いた穴は自分で修繕。どっちだろうね。どっちかっていうと、お金もらってなさそうなんだよな、なんかこの感じは。主戦度っていうより。こっちじゃねえかな。
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide, under heavy makeup, a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
Do not have a lot of means.
やっぱ安く買われてるんだね。雇われてる。
But you could easily change your job if your
そうね、転
employer
職
does
すれ
not
ばいい
meet
じゃん
your
ね。なんか
elementary
握られてんのかな。
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps
どう
from
い
a
う状況
guest.
やちって。被害者、ファビオはどうで
Did
し
you
ょ
know
う。
Fabio?
知って
Not
る
personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always Fabio-centric.
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
はい、じゃあ証拠は、これは関係ない、これも関係ない。これもちょっとね、なんか気になるね。どういう理由
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage.
あ、そういう状況なん
For a
だ。
major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle.
あ、おじさん
I
な
was
の
next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses
一
to
番近いん
pay
だ、
a
間柄
family
は。
member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love, cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately.
うーん
She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
なるほどね。はいはいはいはい。はいファビオにこれどういうねサントスを侮辱していた。はい。報われていません、努力は。そうですね。こういう可能性、こういう可能性。でまだ全然つながってこないんだよね。こっちにするとこっち。いろいろね、やれますよね。このゲームオープンワールドなのか。ああ、そうね、一応そうだよ。なんだろう。この辺ね、今これメインストーリーこれなんだけど、この辺がサブクエみたいな感じかな。サブクエ。で、なんか、 いろいろ行って、こういうやつとか、なんかいろいろアクション系とかもできるみたいな、そういう感じです。よいしょ。そしたら次、なんだ。誰に聞くんだ、これは。なんかあるかな。結構いろいろやったけどな。
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchos.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still
ま
not
だ
be
証
enough
拠が
to
足り
clear
ない
the
ね。
police.
ボーゲルを釈放するための証拠を
I
集
hope
めない
your
といけない。
attempt to put things straight will make up for
You being on a bender?
touche.
サリばっか飲んでんじゃねえ。そしたらいろいろ出てきたんで、まあやっぱこいつだろうな。やっぱ軸はな。
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of
まだ
such
だ
a
よね
thing?。
まだ。
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
なんとでも言えるな、それは確かにな。
You'd better ask someone else.
これ
I've
な
read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only
と
heir.
次というか
And who
ね。
is he to you?
He's a leech on my
めっ
aging
ちゃ嫌い
body.
じゃん。
He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
やっぱ親戚同士のね、いざこざってめんどくさいか
He
ら
needed to
ね。
know his place, so I taught him.
はいはいはいはいはい。さあ、まだまだありますよと。どちらかが嘘をついている。これはね、考えにくいんだよ。酩酊状態で手紙を取ったっていうのはね、正直。これ戻って、次誰だ？またこいつちょっと聞いてみるか。
I've nothing to say.
これは
Could Fabio have written this letter to
どう
Kurt
でしょうか。
Manchos?
Oh,
あいつ
that could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios.
縁を
Clients
切
who
り
are in
たが
love are
る。
both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money.
まあお金の
In our
まあ
line
そう
of
ね。
work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr.
Rashi.
Manchos?
Not at
パ
all.
トロン的なのを見
The
せたい
old
のかな。
toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
はいはいはい。まあ、いっぱい。さあ、これはどっちに転ぶのでしょうかと。まあ、この可能性はありますと。ちょっと待ってな、まだです。これででももう選択肢が
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Please let me out.
違う。あ、待って、まだダメです。
I appreciate your cooperation, Mr. Manchios. Wait just a moment, I have something to check.
ちょっと待ってな。まだやんなきゃ調べないといけないことがめちゃくちゃある。終わりじゃないでしょ。終わり？ちょっと待って。違う。こうしてとかってやると、違う。こうか。これで、こうすると、誰になる？マティスさんになるのか。 マティスタになる。あとはサントスがサントスがやった説がこれか。はい。あれで3択だね。はい。全部一応これ出たのか。誰だろうな。遺産を狙うために、ファビオを殺して罪を着せる。逮捕されたら遺産の相続者になる。正解ってあるの？正解はないんじゃないか。多分なんか正解っぽいのはあるんだろうけど、別に何選んでも別に多分影響はないはず。前作とかも別に影響はなかったはずだから。さ、手がかり的に言うとやっぱこれはどう考えてもいやこれはではね、いや仲は良くないという。いやこれもなんか微妙なね。全部どうとでも取れるやつだからね。誰かが嘘ついてれば全部成り立っちゃうから、これは。3択だよな。ここの関係性、サントスやっぱね、第一発見者というか警察に通報してるっていうのもね、謎すぎるし、あとはマティスタの動機ってなんだ？何になるんだっけ？マティスタのテスタになると、ファビオの認知症者が持ち込んで危険を感じていた。テスタ愛の儀式を企ててファビオを殺害した。まあそうね。昔からの仲間というか友人で、ただでもなんかカートにいいように使われていてみたいな。オカルトの殺人者。いや状況証拠的にはこのねどれだ？どこだ？あれ？儀式の作り方って、もうこれね、これ事件現場の儀式の感じからいくと、 まあ、マティスタが、まあ、こういうオカルトものをできるっていうのは、てかマティスタ以外このあれはできないんだよな。それに見せかけてっていうのをサントスないし、カートマンチュスがわざわざそれに見立ててやるかという、マティスタのせいだよっていう風にやるかっていう話。まあでもそれ自体は知ってんのか。うん。これをこうしてこうすると、カートマンチュスになります。拒絶された。ファビオを殺す気はなく、必死で痕跡を隠そうとしていた。地上のスレ。非常に彼がゲシコでマジで罪を着せるため、オーゲルのポケットに手紙を入れた。難しいね。まあ、そうね。でもここに書いてあるね。マティスタに罪を着せるため、儀式を企てたっていうのはそうだね。でもそうすると、サントスが通報した意味があんまないんだよな。でもいろんな絡みが、ファビオがサントスが通報する意味がないな。そうするとカートマンチュスがやった場合だと、カートマンチュスがやってるかどうか分かんなくて通報して、それで失脚する。でもまあそっか、警察出しちゃえばどっちにしろなんか地位は落ちんのか。でもそしたらでも遺産減るだけじゃない。捕まるかどうか分かんないのに通報しねえよな。これやるとサントスの行動に矛盾が生じる気がする。カートがやるとちょっと難しいな。でそしてサントスがやった場合だと、サントスがやった場合だと、おじに罪を着せようとするのはわかるんだけど、おじに罪を着せようとした中でオカルトのやつを持ち出してってやる意味があるのか。なくない？二重じゃない？オカルトやったらそれこそマティスタ犯人にならない。それが矛盾だよな。そんでマティスタが犯人だった場合、矛盾がない矛盾が1ミリもないんじゃないか。でもなんかそれ トレートすぎないか。ストレートでいいのか。これ特になんか誰かに罪を着せるとかがないんだよね。マティスタだけ。ね、難しいね。まあ、別にどれでもいいんだけどさ。どれでもいいんだけど、一番しっくりくるというか、何もっていうのがないんだよね。ないのがマティスタな気はする。マティスタにしとくか。一番丸いだろう。まあ、別に正解あるわけじゃないしいいんじゃない。だって他2人はさ、どの選択肢もなんかやっぱ合わないし、なんかってなる気がするし、ただそれがなんか正解だとゲームとしてどうなんだとは思うけど、正解というかこのねマティスタ犯人説ストレートすぎてつまんないっていうのもあるかもしんないけどね。まあでもいいんじゃないか。ちょっとやっぱストレートで別にどっちにしよう。善悪な判断がつかない。ちょっとね、殺人者にしときましょうか。そんな優しい、そんな精神病院で治療とかね、そのちょっと甘いことは言わないです。ちょっと普通にじゃあこれでいきましょうか。いけー。はい、お願いします。マティスタさんどこですか。いた。あなたですね。あなたですね。あなたですね。いきます。イェイ。
Matista, you killed Fabio during the ritual.
What? No. I could never.
いや、まあね、みんな言うんだよ。はい。
Fabio was a rising star. Cordona already knew of him, and you were not as popular. Your duo was coming to an end. He would have left you, and you were afraid of that. Since you believe in your gift, you thought you could revive him after death.
蘇らせよう
At
と
that
した。
time, he would have stayed with you.
That is not true. I was afraid of him leaving me, but I would never have hurt him.
儀式を取り残
You
る。
knocked out Fabio with a bottle. You locked the door and placed him on the altar. You cast spells and pushed a blade between his ribs. The blood from his wound was used to draw symbols across his body and the room itself. You wanted to use your gift to resurrect him, but he failed to wake up. So you cleaned yourself up and left the room, realizing the full scale of what you'd done.
That's just wrong. I didn't do it. You didn't see what happened.
Then tell me, what did happen?
I don't know. I wasn't there. You weren't either.
傷は何ですかって。
You were there when Fabio was killed. He fought for his life and inflicted those bruises on your body, but you knocked him out eventually.
I was with the guests all the time. Manchios ordered me.
あ、これが、あれだな、さっきの、医療施設に入れるか、まあ、殺人者だっていうこっちですね。
Matista, you are a product of violence. You absorbed it in your childhood and have lived with it ever since. You know nothing of love, morality, or care. You are beyond any help. No judge would hesitate to
公式。
hang you for what you did.
If that's so, then I'm ready to leave my body and be finally free. It's you who will have to live with your disgraceful judgment.
え、あれ終わってねえ。終わった？ああ、はい、あ。はい、じゃあ警察のところ行きましょう。
I wish everything were different.
今もう変えられないからね。あ、まだ変えられる。すごい。え、まだ変えられんの？これ初めてのパターンなんだけど、まだ変えられんの？え、まだ変えられるってやばくない？まあでも行くけど。まだこの状況でまだ変えられるんだ。アーカイブ、ここですね。はい。
I've cracked the case. It was Matista. All the evidence points to her.
That peculiar girl.
Not peculiar. A dangerous occultist. At some point, she would strike a dagger through the heart of her lover.
Diabolical witch. I'll make sure we call for a priest to cleanse the interrogation room.
You might retain the priest for her hanging.
Order burning. To hell with her.
こんなの昇進しないでしょうよ。
As for my part, not everything was in place.
あんなに単価来たのに。
Some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free.
ボーディルも釈放です
Good luck,
と。
Constable.
ありがとうございますと。さあ、終了と。机の上。これかな？はい。事件記録0743。到着した捜査官によってストーンウッドでの庭の遺体はバーレット・ホームズ夫人であると確認されました。被害者の体は全体が水で濡れていて、喉には5センチほどにわたる縦型の深い石灰の跡が確認。喉に顔は膨れ上がり、赤い斑点に覆われていた。死因は低酸素症。観察時の確認待ち。第一容疑者のオットー・リヒターを現場で逮捕。遺体を死刑のため移送。は？覚えてんの？ジョンと遊んでて。家の前で何を見た？
The garden.
わからない。
There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened.
あ、裏手にはまだ確かに回ってないな。
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Don't forget the file.
さあ、じゃあお家に戻りましょうか。
Oh, you did it, Sherlock. The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo.
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
仕方ないですね。
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess since I'm free, you were heard after all. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the
役に立たない。
archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world,
嘘も
Sherlock?
大事よね。聞きたくないよ。
I get enough obnoxious pontification from my brother, so please
子供
spare
か。
me your lecture.
Forgive my love for moral philosophy. I know I tend to ramble. You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then,
後悔する
I。shall bid you adieu.
なんか含みがありますけど。これでじゃあメインストーリーかな。戻ってきましたよと。さあさあさあ、もう結構もう溺死していない。溺死した。ああ、はいはいはい。これであれか。犯人のあれがあるかもしれない。衣装をちょっと変えましょう。はい。さあ、お家に戻りましょうか。さあ、お家に戻りましょう。お家お家お家お家お家、はい。終わったよな。終わったよな。OK。さあ。ここに行くと、もっとまた誰かがいますけど。あれこれは、あ、でもサブクエの人か。
exercise some restraint, Mr. Holmes. Find the who's and we'll handle the why's.
A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it, Sherry?
裏
I
口
have
ですか。
so many ideas.
入れないけどな。裏口どこだ？庭？あ、こっちのことか。ああ。引っかかった。これのことですか。違う？違う。あれ？どれ？あれ？どれのこと？え？屋敷の裏に大きな庭、1階にあるその入り口は2つの窓になる。1階に行けばいいのか。中入んのね。ムービーはまだ始まらない。庭に続くやつってことは、これだよな。これだよな。
Sherry, please listen to me.
行かないでってこと？
Sherry,
John, I always listen to you.
you don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain. And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona. So many others we can
後
help.
戻りできない。あ、もう最終章ってことですね、じゃあ。多分。おっとまた後にしよう。まだ行かなくてもいいよと。待って、じゃあこれもう最後に進んじゃうってことか。
I find myself awash in uncertainty. Perhaps now is not the time, with so much left to do.
Thank you, Sherlock. Thank you. Some doors can remain closed.
Cordona still calls for us, yes. And we will answer. But know this, John. One way or another, we will find ourselves back in front of this door, unable to avoid the truth any longer.
なるほど。これで行くんですが、ここで一旦保存しておいてですね。これどうしよう。なんかやろうか。どうしようか。でもこれはもう最後だよな、多分な。どうしようかな。なんか最後って言われるとなんか、あれだな。明日に回そうかな。明日最終回にしようかな。今日じゃあ金曜日ができないんだよね。金曜日できないから明日最終回回すか。どんくらいで終わるんだろう。結構早いかな。最終回でも長いよな。そんなに。でも4章結構早かったな。それ考えると2時間ぐらいで終わっちゃったしな。サブクエは全然やってないっていうのもあるけど。いいか、明日最終回にしようか。区切りいいしな。明日一気に最後まで全部やろう。今日だってシャープ9とかでしょ。シャープ10で明日全部だな。明日全部やろう。明日最終回で。今日はここまで。明日最終回ラスト一気にやります。明日だな。ワンチャン朝までやるの。朝までかかんねえと思うけど。じゃあそうしよう。終わりだわ。よし、明日最終回です。ありがとうございました。お疲れ様です。